Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Drop. And you guys have seen Way of Wade and they have a good amount of 808 threes, like versions of it. So you guys were wondering what is the best version to get, right? So if you want a Kobe-like shoe, this is one of the best shoes that you can get. In my personal opinion, the 808 right? Like the 808 808 Ultra, 808 Ultra V2, 808 Ultra V2 Low. We got 4 versions of it, which is crazy, right? But also, if you want a really nice Kobe-like shoe, Kobe-esque shoe, you can also get the Player One Plus. It plays very similarly to the Kobe 11 and also the Kobe 9 Low, right? So yeah, I mean, which shoe should you get? So I guess like as far as like overall performance goes, I would say, I don't know, it's kind of hard guys. I really like both of the shoes, but if I were to edge a shoe out a little bit, I would say the Player One Plus, right? The Player One Plus just has amazing traction. One of the best tractions you get, like such an amazing bite on a clean court. Also, very minimal dust pickup, right? Also, if you're gonna be playing on an outdoor court, you should be fine. It has really hard rubber, you have really deep grooves too, very durable outsole, right? And also, I really like how there's a drop-in midsole that's replaceable, actually replaceable, right? So if you look at the 808 Ultra tech spec, it says replaceable drop-in midsole, but you can't really buy a separate drop-in midsole. But you can with this Series Player only Player One Plus because they actually have it available for sale, right? So that's also another plus. And also another thing that I like is that you can customize the drop-in midsole in the way of like, if you want a little bit more responsiveness, you can get the responsive setup. If you want a little bit more bounce, you can get the explosive setup. If you want a little bit more impact protection and support, get the support setup, right? And they're also sneak peek, by the way, they are releasing a couple more drop-in midsoles at the end of this year, which I'm very excited about. With the 808 Ultra, you can't really do that. If the cushion bottoms out, you're kind of done for. You kind of have to buy a whole brand new shoe, right? But I do like the overall drop-in midsole, but also like the boom drop-in is really soft. So on harder impacts, it's not the best. But as far as like support and fit and all that, they're both really good, right? So I would have to say the Player One Plus is just a tiny bit better with the slightly better traction, also slightly better cushion, you know? But of course, it is a lot more expensive. It's like 180 bucks. The 808 Ultra V2 Low, this is 160 bucks. This, right, the regular 808 Ultra is also 160 bucks, but there are some colorways available for around 130, 140 bucks. And then also we have the 808 Ultra V2, and then we have the regular 808 which isn't really on their website anymore, right? So I believe this shoe was 120 bucks. So if you do want to save money, 120 bucks for a Kobe-like shoe, which has absolutely amazing performance, you can't beat it. 120 bucks, and I even saw it go on sale for like 100 bucks. This is an amazing shoe, especially for the price. You're getting a drop-in midsole, which has really good step and comfort. Also, it does improve like the lockdown as well because of the texture. It's not using the full-length boom, however. It's using cloud foam with a bottom-loaded boom 4-foot unit, which is pretty nice. But this shoe overall does have better impact protection because the cloud foam is a little bit stiffer than boom, right? Boom is really soft, so if you're doing hard, like super hard impacts, it does bottom out the cushion, and my foot, like I could feel the floor a little bit on harder impacts. So just be careful on really hard impacts. But obviously, like I feel like in every other aspect, the boom drop midsole is better. It's bouncier, stepping comfort is better because it's softer. There's more compression right underneath your foot. Also, they both have really good court feels. It's just for the harder impacts, the regular 803 is a little bit better, right? Of course, the traction is absolutely amazing, right? But this is the only shoe with this outsole pattern, right? On all the other shoes, like all the other Ultras, it has this one, right? Same thing here and same thing here. So it's pretty much identical for all of them, and they all have amazing traction. It does pick up a little bit of dust, like I said. You know, the Player One Plus does pick up a little bit less dust, but you know, it's a very easy wipe, so it wasn't like even that big of an issue for me, right? So pretty much the outsole and midsole, like the cushioning setup, is literally the same in all the 808 Ultras, right? The regular 808, the V2 Low, and also the V2. They're all using the full-length boom drop-in setup. And also the external heel counter is pretty much exactly the same. I guess the regular 808 just has this like oval shape, right? And then here in the V2, you also have this oval shape, but we have another color here. And then in the V2 Low, we have like it's plastic here. Right, so you have this oval shape, it's plastic here on the bottom a little bit. Also, there seems to be like a softer type of clear plastic over the carbon fiber, which is pretty interesting. Also, another difference is for the heel counter, you can see the hexagon shapes through this kind of like translucent plastic versus all the other ones, right? But they all have that like Way of Wade kind of logo in the back, right? Also another difference, of course, is the material. So as far as material quality goes, in my personal opinion, I would say the regular V2, right? The high top version is the best for quality. It also seems like it'll be the best for durability too, because it's just a thicker material. It also seems more like a knit, so the material on top is like thicker, and then there also is an underlaying material, like with a mesh. So that'll obviously be way better for durability if you want the overall kind of like more durable shoe that'll last longer, obviously, right? But if you want the thinner material, I would actually say the V2 Low is definitely the thinnest. This definitely feels the thinnest. The Ultra is also extremely thin, but as far as the airflow goes, I would say the V2 Low is better, right? So you have really good airflow through the toe box in both of these shoes, right? But like I guess through the like the sides, like the lateral and medial sides, it's not that good. You know, there's actually an underlaying material, but then for the low, it actually seems like it'll be a little bit better, right? There also seems to be an underlaying material, but it's not as thick, you know what I mean? You can see all this. And then through the bottom of the tongue, like for the regular Ultra, right? There's not that much airflow through this material, right? It's actually on the thicker side of things, but with this, you can see how well ventilated it is, right? So there's a lot of airflow through that, also through the top and also here on the sides and also on the medial side. You know, on the medial side, we have this material that's supposed to like be a window so you can see the drop in midsole. But that's also just a really thin material that has really good airflow. On the regular 808-3 and also the V2, you just have this plastic window. So obviously that's not gonna be great for ventilation. So there is a little bit of a difference there. But one thing that is kind of similar is the Flywire cables, right? So on both of the V2s, the V2 and the V2 Low, we had these Flywire cables. The regular 808-3 does not. And also another difference is that the regular 808-3 has a regular tongue, right? So we have pretty much a full-on tongue. It's a half booty construction tongue, giving you a better overall one-to-one fit. It kind of like goes down into the midfoot like this. But for the V2 and the V2 Low, it's kind of like it's like a one booty upper kind of with like a flap tongue, right? Because this is all just one material. This is attached to the actual upper right here. Same thing with the regular V2, but the regular V2 I like a little bit better because it's just a little stretchier. You know what I mean? You have a good amount of give to it, so like it does stretch over your, like on top of your foot a little bit more than the V2 Low. This isn't as stretchy. You know, there's a little bit of stretch to it, but it's not as stretchy as a regular V2. So I like that a little bit better as well. And also another difference is the material going around the toe box, right? So in the regular V2, we have this like really thick kind of synthetic material. But on the regular 808-3 and also the V2 Low, we have this like a really thin fuse, right? So obviously that'll be better for durability, but it'll make it feel a little bit bulkier, just a tiny bit bulkier for the material, right? And also, obviously, the biggest difference is the high top nature of the regular V2. We have this really nice, like stretchier type of knit material. It's like a knit collar, obviously, and it feels really nice. Improves the lockdown a lot. Like there's no heel slippage in the regular 808-3s, right? In these shoes, I didn't experience any type of heel slippage, but this just kind of like locks down your foot, locks down your heel really, really well, especially if you really tighten up the last couple eyelets here, right? So that feels really nice, and also because this material is just so dang thin, it adds a little bit of ankle support, just a tiny bit, but literally just, it feels like a low pretty much because you do have really good ankle mobility, but it just improves lockdown, right? But there is a con to this. It does make the overall shoe a little bit hard to put on. I mean, obviously it has nothing to do with performance, but I just want to like point that out. Obviously the lows will be a lot easier to put on and take off. And as far as like the overall padding in all of them, in the ankle area, it's all around the same. It just has like an average amount of padding, you know? And of course, going on to the weight, I feel like, you know, obviously the regular V2 is gonna be the heaviest, right? This is probably 13 point something. Yeah, 13.7 ounces. It's not super heavy, right? But the regular Ultra is not even that much lighter. 13.5 ounces is 0.2 ounces lighter than the high top version, which is kind of crazy, right? So 13.7, 13.5, and then the V2 Low is actually the lightest, coming in at 12.9 ounces. So that is a good amount of weight, like reduced, and that obviously has to do with the upper. I actually don't know what they did with the upper that's just so much lighter, but it's not so much lighter. It's like 0.5, 0.6 ounces, but it is lighter, right? So in my personal opinion, right, if you want the most durable upper, and also if you want the most support, and also like I guess the best lockdown, just get the regular V2, right? I love how the shoe looks as well, especially with the high top kind of knit design. It kind of reminds me of the Kobe 9s, you know, the Kobe 9 Elite Highs. Yeah, just with the material, it just feels really, really nice, right? If you're gonna get the regular 8083 Ultra, I just get it if you want to save money because it is on sale, right? And they don't really restock colorways that much, so just like what they did with the regular 808 I feel like a lot of people bought this shoe because it was super nice, felt like a Kobe, it was cheap as well, $100 on sale, and retail price is $120, but they didn't really restock really at all ever. So yeah, if you do want to get the regular 8083 Ultras, then I would suggest getting it for a cheaper price, because I feel like the V2 Low is the better version of the regular 8083 Ultra, right? In my personal opinion, it just looks better, but also the material quality feels better, and also the ventilation's better, and it's lighter, you know, and the cushion's pretty much identical, as well as the traction. So anyways, that's kind of like the overall comparison of all the 808 and I'm very, very excited about the 808 There's a lot of Way of Wade shoes coming out as well, like the All City 12 Encore, the WOW 11, it should be coming out in a couple weeks as well, which I'm super duper excited about. But anyways, as far as like the best Kobe-like shoes, well, I mean like with the drop-in midsoles, like the Kobe 9, Kobe 8, Kobe 11, the 808 and also the Player One Plus are the best shoes on the market right now. I feel like we have a good amount of shoes with drop-in midsoles nowadays, you know, like the Stewie 3, not that nice. The Zion 3, it's not that nice. I mean, the regular Zion 3 I liked, right? But these are better, you know, especially for the traction. But the Zion 3 SE is pretty trash. But anyways, that about concludes this video. Hope this video helped you guys out, and I'll see you guys in the next one.